I know exactly why you are here and what you want. So I'm going to give you exactly what you want. And that is manga series to read that do not suck. Alright, welcome back to the Manga Sloth. Today we got some sweet manga here. I got a stack of manga. We're going to go over them. I'm going to give you a little synopsis about them and going to give you a look at the art and the covers and all that jazz. And hopefully you'll be buying or trying out some of these sweet manga. And like always, if you like any of this content, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Helps out the channel. And if any of this manga seems decent and you want to buy it or any other kind of manga for cheap, down below is my Right Stuff affiliate link. Use that, buy the manga you would normally buy for cheap, and it helps out the channel by all the money I get goes back to you in giveaways. Easy peasy. Alright, let's just jump straight in. Number one here, none other than Dungeon People. Have not heard much about this floating around. I actually have not seen another person pick this up besides me. Obviously they're out there and maybe I'm not looking, but this series is pretty interesting for a volume 1. That is right, this is only a volume 1 right now. It's brand new, so it's easy to get, easy to try and check out. So I know what you're thinking, another manga about a dungeon. Not a surprise there, they're everywhere, but this one feels different and fresh in a bunch of different ways. The art style is, in my opinion, not the best. It's a little simpler, but it has kind of a charm. You'll understand if you check it out and look at it. But it is about this girl who is a thief, and she is going in this dungeon and she's looking for her father, and she goes down in the dungeon farther than any other adventurer has before. During this, I won't spoil anything, something happens and it kind of feels like it almost breaks the fourth wall a little bit, something that never ever happens in any dungeon manga I've ever read, which makes it pretty sweet. Something happens and we'll just say she gets a job offer from the caretaker of the dungeon. She ends up working for the caretaker and for the dungeon, and then she is doing the mundane tasks of everyday dungeon life, you know, putting loot in treasure chests and setting up traps and doing things like that. And you get to learn and see where monsters come from, what adventurers do, and kind of the behind the scenes of a dungeon. It was different and it was nice and I liked it, and I'm looking forward to volume 2. Let me know if you want to try this out or check it out, because it was decent. Next up, we got a Galaxy Next Door. This is volume 1, also a newer series. I don't just do newer series here. I do new series, old series, and completed recently series. Stay tuned, I mix them up all the time. So let me talk to you about a Galaxy Next Door and give you an idea about it. So like I said, a Galaxy Next Door is a newer series. There's only 2 volumes out now. It is a romantic comedy, and it's by the same mangaka as Sweetness and Lightning. The premise is about a manga artist, Ichiro, who looks after his 2 younger siblings, and he hires an assistant, Shiori, that comes to his aid. However, Shiori is very particular, including the fact that she has a stinger that Ichiro touches and finds himself in an unprecedented engagement. That is right, his assistant has a stinger. The heroine's origin intrigued my wife the most when she was reading this. The author is definitely giving crumb-sized bite about Shiori, the girl with the stingers, background so far. So there's a lot of unknowns and a lot of things to learn about. Definitely looking forward to see what comes next in this series. If you've ever read or watched any Tenchi Muyo, it gives those kind of vibes, but obviously without the harem aspect to it. So the third series I'm talking about here is I Will Survive Using Potions. This one is weird. It's definitely different, and I just had a feeling that I'd like it, but I also did think that I would not. Outside of the little isekai aspect, it's generally not something that I normally read. So let's talk about this one for a second. So I Will Survive Using Potions is a light novel and a manga. I'm reading the manga version, obviously, here. This main character dies one day when Supervisor of Earth was taking care of a distortion. Her death was a mistake. The caretaker agrees to reincarnate her, but cannot do so back on Earth. It was in a different world that is less culturally advanced than Earth. She's definitely at a disadvantage there. Because of this, she asks for some powers, as you would naturally do. And her powers that she asked for is the ability to create potions for anything that she would want, which gets expanded on through the series, and there are some crazy type of things I won't get into that she can do, which are super cool. She also asks for infinite storage, as one would, so the ability to hold anything in kind of an infinite satchel bag, and also the ability to speak any and every language. So she's definitely going to be set up, and this new world does have magic in it, but it's at such a low level and it's so rare. So I've been enjoying it so far. I have 6 or 7 volumes out now. It seems like more of a calming slice of life read at first, but then there's surprising scenes of action and a little more brutal than you would expect, since it's been so calm, cool, and collective. But I've been enjoying it so far, and hopefully you will too if you try it out. Moving along, we got Perfect World here. This is one that more people may have heard of. The reason I'm bringing up this one is that it is 12 volumes. It recently ended. So let's take a look at this and I'll give you an idea about it. So like I said, Perfect World is a manga series that recently completed at 12 volumes. This manga provides a realistic approach with its storytelling, conveying the romance between 2 former classmates that reunite as adults, but one is now a wheelchair user, as you can see from the covers of the manga. This story hit home a little more with my wife because she has a cousin who lost the ability to walk due to illness when they were a teenager, and seeing how far she came to have a successful career and relationship despite facing great bias. There is a lot of deep topics explored in this manga, but the ending is probably one of the most gratifying to reach after being on this journey with the characters. If you like manga like A Silent Voice or A Sign of Affection or any manga similar to those, this is definitely a series I would recommend. Next up, we got the Elusive Samurai here. Now this manga is by the creator of Assassination Classroom, if you are familiar with that one. This is a newer series. I think at the time of this, only 1 and 2 are out, and I have only read volume 1. So in medieval Japan, this kid who's 8 years old is the heir to the shogunate, but his clan is in decline, and his clan is betrayed from within. So bad days. And his family is killed. He is the last one in his family and the rightful heir to the clan, and he's got to do what he can to take back his clan, and that is run away. And that's what he does. He runs away. So then he meets up and some loyal retainers that are left and that start this journey with him. So in a lot of ways it seems similar to a lot of storylines, but with this kid not really wanting it, and instincts are to run away and get away. That is definitely different. It's not the, kid that grinds his teeth, cries it out, and then just wants to go and get revenge, and his whole purpose and journey is just to get stronger and murder everybody who murdered his family. This kid wants to run away, and that's what he does. So it's a little different there, and it's going to be interesting to see his journey to become, leader again, try to get back his clan. While it's been some years since I've read Assassination Classroom, I feel like the art style doesn't remind me of Assassination Classroom, and I had to be reminded that this is the same mangaka, because if I just had them both side by side and didn't know, I wouldn't know. So this is a new series that'll probably be going on for a while, so definitely check this one out. So now we got an oldie here, and it is Mason Akaku. This is completed at 16 volumes, or still ongoing with a couple left, I think, in the omnibuses, if you've seen those out. They are all white. If you go with the singles, you get all the colored spines that look sweet. and all the different art. So let's talk about this series now. So Mason Akaku is by Rumiko Takahashi, which you may know as the author of Inuyasha and even in the recent series Mao. Mason Akaku is very different compared to her well-known fantasy series, and it's a slice of life that is complete at 15 volumes, and like I said, it's being currently re-released in the omnibus volumes. It revolves around a new landlord of an apartment building, Kyoko, and one of her tenants, a failing college student named Yusaku. This series is full of many hilarious scenes between the pair. Where this manga really shines is in its background characters, doing everything in their power to sabotage Yusaku's attempts to win over Kyoko, though Yusaku fails plenty of times on his own. If you're into romantic comedy series, I definitely recommend trying this series now to get insight on one of Rumiko's older successful series. If you think you would like any of these series, make sure to try them out. If you are going to, or if you already have, let me know down below what you thought of them. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe like always, and I will see you all next time.